Bismillah, alhamdulillah. The question is regarding a person who feels, not necessarily knows, but feels that they have a problem with uncontrolled urination. Now, whether it's the urinary tract or any other bodily dysfunction that makes a person feels that there is urine coming out of him or her after they have properly used the bathroom and cleansed themselves. With regards to salah, wudu, ghusl, and then this goes on. Correct. Right. We say, alaykum salam, this issue is well known among the people of knowledge, the fuqaha, the jurists, the law doctors of the four orthodox schools, and those outside of the quote-unquote four orthodox schools. It's well known. And there were people who had these issues and these problems and these doubts for centuries. And anything that pertains to a person's salah, as Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, as Imam Malik collected in his Muwatta, he wrote a letter to his governors, those whom he had sent in the different conquered lands, the different Islamic territories and colonies. He wrote them a letter and he said to them, Inna ahamma a'malikum indi salah. He says, the most important of your duties to me is the prayer. It's the most important thing for you to do and look after. The tax, agricultural tax, this, that, this battle, this army, fulan, this one and that one. So the most important thing that you can do and make sure that people are establishing and performing and doing is the salah. Is the salah. This is a statement of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Let alone the many ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ, authentic, well-known narrations regarding the prayer, its importance, its virtue, and its obligation, which are all well known. But sometimes we like to mix it up and diversify it a little bit. So Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, the most important thing that you are to do, to look after, and to regulate and to administer, is the salah. He says, Indi, to me, most important thing. Others may feel or think differently, but to me, the most important of your tasks as the governor, as the judge, as the mayor, as the one in charge of this land and of that land, is making sure that people make the salah on time, in congregation, properly, etc. So therefore, the reason why the fuqaha gave such a great amount of importance to these issues is because it pertains to salah, which is the most important physical act of worship in the Muslim's daily life, the prayer. Everybody understand this? So this is a well-known issue. My advice, first and foremost, would be for him to verify the problem. Do you actually have a medical issue? Or is it just a baseless thought, a misimpression, a misinterpretation? Or maybe, waliyadhu, even worse than that, is it a whispering of the shaitan? Is it a whispering of the shaitan, causing you to think and feel that your wudu is broken because of wind, because of urination, because of blood, or anything like this? The first step is for the brother or the sister to document the problem. Everybody understand this? I felt the stomach pain, I felt something in my bowels, or this or that. I check my pants, my clothes immediately. Nothing's there. An hour later, I have the same feeling. The next day, next week, to check it, to regulate it. And then go to the physician and the doctor and see what is the problem. If you feel the problem, feel the pain, feel the sensation, and nothing happens, nothing is there, there's nothing that's felt in your underpants, and you also go and check it out with a physician and a doctor, then it's obviously something else. It's a whispering from the shaitan. Waswasa. Then it's a what? Waswasa. If a person actually has a problem, a urinary problem, then there is a ruling, which we'll get into inshallah. We'll mention that. We'll talk about the rulings of that. What to do. Very simple, very easy. But the first step is to do what? Thabbit arshak thumma ankush. We said the other day is to solidify your what? The what? What do we say? Thabbit arshak thumma ankush. We said solidify the seat, solidify the throne. Don't forget this, guys. Can't what? Can't forget this. Thabbit arshak thumma ankush. Solidify your chair, then decorate your chair. It's a proverb, a cliche. In other words, you have to verify it before you can take what? Action. Because this could just be a whispering of your own self. your own nafs, of shaitan, or whatever the case may be. So the first step is to verify, is there actually a problem or not? If there is a problem, then there's a mode of action, something to do, wudu, so on and so forth. If there isn't a problem, if it's something in your mind, in your head, there's also something for you to do to get rid of it. But it is not the same amount of fiqh rulings. Everybody understand the same amount of what? Fiqh rulings. A person could be under immense stress, immense pressure, immense fear. A person could have high expectations for something, which causes a person feeling he has to go use the bathroom. I'm nervous, so I have to use the bathroom. It feels like something happened and nothing actually happened. So that's the first step, is to do what? Is to check, is to solidify, to make sure that that's actually the problem. Once a person finds out that it is a urinary tract problem or something like this, then we say to you, when you use the bathroom, you make al-istinja or al-istijmar. Clean yourself with dry matter or with water. And some ulama may say with dry and with water. With dry matter and with water. That's the first step, is to clean yourself in a proper manner. And obviously, we all know as Muslims the proper way and the proper etiquette of using the bathroom or the restroom and cleansing oneself. A person, first and foremost, should not face the Qibla, nor should you turn your back towards the Qibla, regardless whether you're in a building or not. Regardless whether you're in a building or not. A person should seek Allah's refuge before they enter the bathroom. A person should not use his right hand when using the bathroom directly. A person should not use no less than 3 wipings with regards to defecation. With regards to urination, a person should use water. And it's also permissible just to use tissue or even a baby wipe or things like this. A sanitary wipe, a wet wipe. You shouldn't talk when you're using the bathroom. Everybody understand this? Different etiquettes, rulings, do's and don'ts. No one should see your aura. No one should be exposed to your aura. A Muslim man and also a Muslim woman must protect themselves from the splashing of urine upon the clothes and upon the body. And is a means of punishment in the grave if you do not protect yourself from the splashing of urine when you're using the bathroom. As is mentioned in the authentic hadith, these are basic etiquettes of the bathroom. Basic rulings, do's and don'ts. Whether they're mandatory or whether they are recommended. Whether they're disliked or whether they are haram. These are the basic etiquettes of relieving what? Oneself. And we've explained this in classes before as well. So that's the second step. Is when you do use the bathroom, even though you have a urinary tract problem, use the bathroom like any other normal person would. Then you perform your wudu. Obviously, you have to make your wudu correctly and properly, which is explained in other classes. Once you've made the proper wudu, or you've made the wudu inside of or a part of your ghusl, and you put on your socks, you put on your clothes, you get dressed, and 5 seconds later, 10 minutes later, you feel that sensation, and you verify that you do have the problem, and it's time for Salat al-Asr. Asr is in. I made wudu after Asr came in, not before Asr comes in, or Dhuhr or Maghrib, any prayer. As the moment, 5 seconds later, you feel that you have the urine, make the Salah. And there's no sin upon you because you can't control it. And it's going to keep happening. You can't wash your clothes, take off your clothes. No, that's not what he has to do. So therefore, I have a urinary problem, and it happens every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. I make wudu at 5:01 p.m. I use the bathroom at 4 something, 5:01, I make wudu, I'm clean. I make the salat 5:02, the urine comes while I'm in the salat. What am I to do? Continue making the salat. Continue to do what? Make the salat. After the asr or dhuhr, I can make my nawafil, my voluntary prayers, whatever prayer I want to make. And the moment maghrib comes in or isha comes in, the new prayer, then I have to renew the purification of my clothes as well. Renew the purification of myself physically and ritually, whether it is changing your underwear, whether it is to wash them. You don't have to scrub them and wash the whole entire pair of underwear. That's a hardship. But the spot or the place in which you feel has been soiled by the impure matter. Everybody clear on this? This is the basic ruling of the person who has this continuous breaking of wudu through urination. And the same applies to breaking of wind. Once you make wudu in the proper time, khalas, that's the only thing that is upon you because you can't control it. Everybody understand this, inshallah? That is what you should do. Now, the next question is, what if a person doesn't have the problem? What if it's just whisperings from the shaitan? Or if a person does have the problem and the shaitan whispers to him, or his nafs whispers to him, what should he do in this situation? We say, turn away from these whisperings 101%, instantly and immediately. Cold turkey. I made wudu, I clean myself, that's it, khalas. My honor could be soiled. I've done what is my responsibility to do. It's time to pray, and that's it. Don't think about it, don't look at it, don't have no thoughts of it until it's time to do the next obligation in Islam, for which tahara is required. This person is advised to read the Quran abundantly, read the Quran on himself, read the prophetic supplications, the ruqyah, an-nabawiyah, the Prophet ﷺ's manner of curing and charming oneself, quote unquote. The word charm in English has more than one meaning. It doesn't have to mean magic or sorcery. Everybody understand this? Just like the word medicine and curing can also be used for sorcery. It's not a word play, everybody understand this? A magician or sorcerer can be called what? Tabib. He can be called what? Tabib. It's a witch doctor. Local doctor. And he has 50 shayateen in his necklace in the back or around his neck, right? Or his staff. Allahu Alam. So what's important here is that a person should read the Quran on a daily basis, preferably after Salat al-Fajr, and preferably before you go to sleep at night. Make the ruqyah upon yourself. Read the prophetic supplications that he used to make for himself and for his children and his family members. Be in the masjid, be around the righteous people, learn as much knowledge as you can, and stay far from the whisperings of the shaitan. Do not listen to when he tries to cast something your way and throw something your way. Be focused and be positive, and ask Allah to remove the problem from you, and try your best to get the medical help and the medical attention, which will, bi'idhnillah, get you back to normal strength. That is my concise yet comprehensive advice on this question. Wallahu a'lam. Hopefully, inshallah, that's clear.